Well, what do we have here? A bunch of fellow FPL nerds keen for the final deadline of the season. How's everyone doing? How are we doing today? Are we excited? Are we nervous? Are we confident? I want to get the feeling from the crowd. How are we getting on today? 3 hours till deadline, just under 3 hours until deadline. But we are streaming a little bit early today. We thought we'd do a special bumper stream today for this monumentous day indeed, where we can finally see out the season. It's so nearly done. It's so nearly done. If you've been in pain like me this season, don't worry, the pain is almost over and we can look forward to the new season. But for a lot of people, you might be in mini leagues about to win the big prize. Maybe you're chasing those mini leagues. Maybe some of you guys are in cup competitions as well. I know I'm in a cup competition for my local mini league. Really hoping I can win that. Go win something this year, right, guys? But yes, guys, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like, that would be massively appreciated. It does really help out the channel a whole bunch. Do feel free to subscribe if you're new around here as well. Actually, I had a target to hit 222,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and it looks like it's done. Looks like we did it. Hang on, let's just double check. Oh hell yeah. Yeah, we hit the subscriber target for the season. So yeah, if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to, but hey, it will always be appreciated. When will we get team news, bro, is the question of the day. Well, difficult to say. I think little bits will come in over the next couple of hours, but the bulk of it will be pretty much right before deadline, to be honest. So we will have to act very fast. JC says, couldn't you have made an effort with the shirt, Dan? What's wrong with the shirt? It's a snazzy golden Venezia shirt. I thought we'd wear gold as we are looking to secure gold this FPL season. That was kind of the idea and the hope there. But maybe we could have gone for something different. I mean, there's other shirts on the rack if you wanna switch things up a bit. Hang on, let me just turn the camera there. Anything that takes your fancy over there, we can switch it up if you want to. Del Schaefer says, he's the golden boy. I am the golden god. Send your red card asking the real questions on this deadline day. Dan, do you prefer Brussels sprouts or turnips? I'm going to have to say Brussels sprouts. I can't think of a time I've ever eaten a turnip. I can't think of a single time. So, yeah, we're going to have to say Brussels for Christmas. For Christmas. What am I drinking? We've got the little orange squash today. We've got we often go for the blackcurrant squash, but I feel like the orange squash is more of a summery flavour. A summery flavour. As you can probably tell, it is pretty strong. I can't lie. I am partial to a perhaps too strong of a squash. It's probably not good for me, to be honest. But you know, the sugar keeps me going through these long streams. Hang on, am I in the center of the? There we go. Yes, the sugar keeps me going. I also have a Lucozade for good measure. So we're gonna get those E numbers in. We're gonna get that sugar rush going, and yeah, ready to end the season up buzzing. Did I add any water? I did add some water. It's a nice 50-50 split. Why not? No, maybe not quite that. Chuck on a Tottenham kit in celebration of winning the Europa League. I don't think that's going to happen. Alan says, mate, the deadline isn't for like 3 hours. I know, we're early today. But I thought, you know, I'm not doing anything else today. I've got no more videos to make. I thought I may as well come hang out with you guys for a bit. Overtino says, are you going to play Fantasy Club World Cup or have a break till next season? Well, I definitely won't have a break. There'll definitely be videos, kind of random miscellaneous videos over the summer. I've got a few video ideas. So there is going to be videos, but largely for 6 weeks, there's not going to be too much. I don't think I'll make like regular Club World Cup content, but I might make a video, see how it does. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Diabetic Dad says, love the final day shirt. Yes, the gold is out. Thanks for all your videos this season. Relax about the rank. A journey is more fun than the destination, mate. Hey, that's true. That's true. But you want the journey to be going somewhere, don't you? And for my personal FPL journey, I'm not sure where we're heading right now, to be honest, but certainly it's been great. A lot of you guys have sent in the comments a lot of stories of how you've you know, watched the videos and really succeeded and thrived in FPL this year. So I'm really honestly, I'm really glad about that. I'm so happy that, you know, I've been able to play a part in and maybe a small part in what has been a really nice season for a lot of you guys, even if it's, you know, just a sounding board or, you know, someone to hang out with and talk about FPL, whatever. I'm just happy to be part of your guys' journey. Totally, if I'm totally honest. Is this your worst ever season? This is my worst ever season since I've, you know, actually tried to play FPL. You know, don't get me wrong. I've had a few seasons, you know, like 10 years ago where I'd maybe like make a team for game week 1 and then just pretty much ignore it, not make any transfers. I don't think I even knew what a chip was back then. So yeah, certainly those seasons were worse. But yeah, in the last, how long have we been properly on FPL? 6 seasons. This has been my worst season in 6, but hey, I think particularly with my kind of play style, you know, you're not guaranteed a good rank every year. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But you know, it is what it is. And to be fair, you know, we've clawed back a little bit over the past few weeks. I'm on 5 consecutive green arrows, so hey, that's something, you know. And we're gonna go hard again. We're gonna go differential again for this game week, and see what we can do. Should we throw my team on screen? So I have 1 free transfer still. I haven't made the transfer. I have some money in the bank as well. So we've still got some bits to do before deadline. But I'm hoping some leaks might inform some decision making. I think I would like to drop out either Rogers or Marmouche, possibly both. I don't know if I want to take a hit, to be honest. I feel like I need to. I think some people might be more needing to take a hit this week, but if your team's fairly template, there's a lot of players that, you know, people are talking about taking hits to remove players like Eza and like maybe Marmouche and Rogers. Like, fair enough if you're really chasing and you want to differentiate your team, like that's totally fine. But generally, these players are fine. These players are absolutely fine. Players like you know, if I had a Chris Wood or a Gibbs White or, you know, maybe like a Beto or a Vardy, maybe players who aren't playing like Savinho and Doku. If you have like these Man City midfielders for some reason in your team, players like that, I would be more inclined to take a hit to remove. But you know, there's a lot of players people are removing. I think are fine to keep if you want to. Of course, it's totally optional. It's totally down to you. Thoughts on Eze to Diaz? This is it. I kind of like Eze. I kind of like Eze for this week. I think out of all of the players who I know I'm not going to own in Game Week 38, Eze is genuinely one of the players I fear the most. I think that could be a higher scoring game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. And, you know, you've got to fancy Eze. If someone's going to get something in that game, you do have to fancy Eberechi Eze in that one, I think. So, for that reason, yeah, I'm not huge on selling him. But like, I get it. Like, I think for a lot of people, they want Bowen. They haven't got Bowen, and it's very easy for me to sit here and say, as a Bowen owner, yeah, don't move Eze to Bowen. But I don't know if I would do it. If I had Eze, I think I'd kind of like to own Eze. I think maybe someone like Rogers, I would be more inclined to remove. Looking through like the manager comments, Emery's comments this week, it was kind of like, you know, we're going to play with respect, maybe a bit of pragmatism against Manchester United. And therefore, you know, could we be looking at a slightly reserved Aston Villa side? I don't know. Look, I think Aston Villa will score in this game for sure, but it's going to be Watkins now. Watkins is good for this week. I think Rodgers is okay for this week, but he's a player I'd be more likely to remove for Bowen rather than Eze. I just don't think I could do it to myself. I don't think I could do it. Like Saar as well. If you've got Saar, I would maybe be more concerned about Saar minutes than Eze. And as such, maybe he would be a player to move to Move to someone like Bowen. Sam says, how scary is it to not own Salah this week? Mate, honestly, I'm long beyond playing FPL with fear this season. Long beyond that one. But if I was, competitive right now, if I'm like winning mini leagues, maybe sitting just inside the top 100k or top 50k or top 10k, whatever your target rank is this year, and I didn't own Salah, I think I would be feeling a little nervous. I can't lie. I think I would be feeling a little nervous. But I actually think I prefer Luis Diaz, and that's why he's the most likely transfer for me. I say most likely. I really want to do it. The only thing standing in my way is maybe Saka. I am tempted by Saka as well, but maybe that's me as an Arsenal fan talking. And I know a lot of people will have Saka in their team. Maybe it's a bit too boring. Where I really like how no one's really talking about Luis Diaz. I like that a lot. I think a lot of people have missed a trick there. I mean, I might be wrong. But yeah, a lot of people predicting Luis Diaz to start as the central striker. Liverpool have the highest projected goals. Salah is going for assist records. And therefore, who is he going to be looking to set up? Well, it's going to be Luis Diaz playing as the central striker. Luis Diaz has a really, really good form right now. Lots of things pushing me towards Luis Diaz, to be honest. Lots of things. I might even captain him. I want to get an idea of what other people are doing for captain, and I want to bet against it. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are thinking Salah and Bowen. Am I right? Am I right there? Let's do a poll. We'll see where you guys are at in your head. Who is your Gameweek 38 captain? The options are Salah, Bowen, and like who's like the third option? I know a lot of you guys will go differential, but like who's like the third most popular? And Burmo, Saka. Who was your Gameweek captain before team news? Who's the third option? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. You're saying a variety of players. Wissa, Evan Nilsson, and Burmo. A couple of people on Burmo. Another Evan Nilsson there. Luis Diaz, love it. And Burmo, Saka. Let's say Saka for the third choice, and then we'll go other. Who is your Gameweek 38 captain? Salah, Bowen, Saka, or other? Get your votes in the poll, and we'll see what you guys are saying. £5 super chat from David. Thank you very much, David. Very generous of you, my friend. And David says, Semenyo, Palmer, Sarr, Rogers, and Burmo, Watkins, Isak, Wissa, 30 points off top, and third is 180 points behind me. Holy moly, David. Well, top two is clear in your league. 5.2 in the bank. One transfer willing to take hits. Well, I think the way you close a 30-point gap, and don't get me wrong, David, it is unlikely to happen. Let's be perfectly real here, is you're going to have to transfer in a differential, and you're going to have to captain a differential as well, which means no Salah captain for you. Unfortunately. Obviously, have a look at your mini league. Have a look at your mini league rival. What kind of players do they have in their team? Is there anyone you can buy that you don't think they will have in their team come deadline? I would be looking to do a similar thing to me, I think. I think I would do, one of Sarr or Rogers to Luis Diaz. And then I guess you have to go with your gut on captaincy. I think I'd be looking at Mbermo and I'd be looking at Luis Diaz for captain if you were to make that Luis Diaz transfer. That's what I would do. In terms of hits, I don't think it's necessary, really. Even if Isak doesn't play, you've got kind of cover there. You can maybe bench Rogers and he can come in if Isak is unavailable. And everything else looks pretty hunky-dory. I mean, Saka is another option for you because you do have so much money in the bank. If you can afford Sarr or Rogers to Saka, then that's definitely got to be a consideration. Would you keep Palmer this week? I mean, I am keeping Palmer this week. That Palmer is going to be super game state dependent. super game state dependent. Like, I'm not going to say Palmer is going to succeed, but there is a chance if things go Chelsea's way early, then it could open up the game for Palmer, which could be pretty nice. But I think I like him most because he's just a differential. Hardly anyone owns, even in like the top 1 million, very few people own Palmer. He's like a 15 to 20% owned player. So he is a nice differential. And for me personally, I like it. But, you know, if you want to play it safe, switching him to a Salah or Saka is probably a reasonably wise move, to be honest. Chance of Trent playing with all the drama. A lot of Liverpool fans are not predicting Trent to start. And from my research for the video I made yesterday as well, yeah, it seems Bradley is more likely to play at right back. But Gomez is also in the conversation as well, who could even be ahead of Trent. So I wonder, yeah, it's difficult because Trent obviously will want to see out the season for Liverpool, you know, play his final game for Liverpool. But I don't think he'll get a very good reception. If we've learned anything from Liverpool fans over the last couple of months, is that they are not happy with Trent. So I don't think he'll maybe get the send off that he wants. So, you know, going for that send off, a lot of players play their final game for clubs and then move on, and everything's very amicable. Doesn't seem to be the case with Trent. So, for example, Arsenal, my team, we've got Jorginho and Tierney playing their last games for Arsenal. And I think both of them will get minutes, and I think both of them will get a very nice, friendly send-off. And that works. It works for everyone. The crowd, the fans get to say goodbye to their player. The player gets, you know, to have that final moment with the fans. Is that the case with Trent? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people asking about Gakpo. I'm not super keen. I can't lie. I think of the 3 forwards for Liverpool, Gakpo is at most risk of not starting today. Of course, we could get some team news, and if we do get some Liverpool team news, we will of course be sharing that with you guys. And yeah, that might again help inform decisions. But you know, even if Gakpo does start, you probably fancy him for a reasonably early sub, do you not? Gakpo scored in 13 straight home starts. Gakpo's got to start in order to score in his starts. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Look, I prefer Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is just in better form, has really good data to back it up as well. Gets extra points for clean sheets and goals and what have you, and actually plays in that central area. Whereas Gakpo, despite being a striker or a forward in FPL, is playing off that left side, generally speaking. So it's a difficult one. I think Gakpo, even if he does start, is more likely to get that early sub. Diogo Jota, Darwin, someone like that coming on. I can see it. Diaz was benched last week. Exactly. That's good. That's a good thing. He was rested last week. He is undoubtedly part of Liverpool's strongest 11. He's been a major contributor towards the season for Liverpool this year. I have I'm pretty confident on a Luis Diaz start. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and we will find out about that before deadline with the team leaks, but I'm pretty confident. Who's the best midfielder from Arsenal, Liverpool for a maximum 7 million budget? I think Martinelli. If we're looking 7 million or below, I'm looking at Martinelli. And again, if we're looking at minutes potential, Martinelli probably has the some of the best minutes potential for Arsenal in those, you know, 3 forward positions, I would say. FPL discomfort is here. Free hit 38 time, baby. Seeing you later, Dan. Yes, Kieran, I will be at the FPL meetup later. And by the way, guys, I mean, maybe I should shout this out, to be fair. Let's find their Twitter. FPL Mate. So, guys, if any of you guys are in the London area. Is it from 2:30? I thought it was from 2. From 2. Okay. So if you are in the London area, the Thirsty Bear. Where is the Thirsty Bear? It's somewhere in London. Isn't London Bridge? Is that like the nearest station? But if you guys are in the London area and you want to get down there, Blackfriars. From 2, you can go and go hang out with a bunch of other FPL managers. There's a whole bunch of people in there. I think like FPL Focal is going to be there from the start. I'm going to be turning up a little bit later. But no, definitely recommend it. Like, everyone is so friendly. It's so easy to make friends and get chatting with people because you already have that common interest. You're all there to watch the football together. It's so easy, and it's such a chilled environment. It's completely free as well. It's just a meetup. It's you don't have to. It's not paid entry or anything like that. Is Harry going there? I'm not sure. It's usually Vocal usually goes, but some of the other guys don't typically go. A lot of like people like podcasters go. Like, I don't know if you guys watch the FPL Wire. Praz often goes to these things. Sometimes we see Who Got the Assist guys go there. So, depending on what content you consume, Sim will be there. If you watch the Stick to FPL podcast, Sim will be there as well. If you want to chat FPL, enjoy FPL with fellow FPL fans, I would definitely recommend going. I try and go to most of them as well. So there you go, FPL Meetup, if you are interested at all. Anyway, back to the chat. We've got a couple of super chats here, guys. Here for FPL says, Dan Mate, 5 points off 100k and really wants it. I have 2 options. KDB to Bowen or Saka, or Isak and Sarr to Evanilson and Bowen, -4 and bench Rodgers. I prefer the second option, I think. But I don't know if I'd be going for Evanilson if I was chasing. Or do you count it as chasing with 5 points? Maybe not. Maybe Evanilson's your safer bet. I think I would be looking at Welbeck. I think if you want to push the boat out a little bit more, because Evanilson and Bowen are 2, and even Saka, these are very template transfers. Very template. So you've got to trust that the basically depending on other people around you playing more crazily than you and failing, So, they're template transfers. They are good transfers. Template is template for a reason. It probably will be enough to get you over the line with 5 points, I would say. I don't know. I don't know if I'd sell KDB. I don't think he's a player I'd be looking to sell. Isak and Sarr, yeah, maybe. But like, all of these players are capable of doing the business on their day, so there's risk attached to all of those transfers. HBK Neil says Bowen for Eze worth a -4. Nope, not in my opinion. I wouldn't be doing it personally. Crindle says, hello FPL mate. I've been stuck between Kirkes and Rodgers versus Concert and Semenyo. Sarr first sub with Isak in the lineup. Your support appreciated. Well, let's see what we can do for you. Interesting. I mean, I think I prefer Kirkes and Semenyo, to be honest. Do we have to? It's not like these teams are playing against each other. Why not go all in on Bournemouth? I don't see too much of a problem with that. That said, I would also like to play Concert this week. Like, I play Concert ahead of Gavardio. I play Concert ahead of pretty much anyone but Newcastle and Arsenal defenders and Kirkes. Newcastle defenders, Arsenal defenders, and Kirkes. Everyone else I play Concert over. But definitely prefer Semenyo to Rodgers. I think I'd also prefer Kirkes to Concert, but I like both. I'd be kind of comfortable benching Rodgers, I think. That's all I would say. FPL Discomfort says, who got the assist are hosting. The double pivot pod will be there too. It's your podcast, isn't it, Kieran? Jason says, what should I do with Isak? Bench him or sell him? I don't know yet, to be honest, mate. I personally think there is a better chance of Isak starting than not starting. However, to be honest, I don't think Isak's been in the best form anyway. The advantage is with Isak is Everton's defence is a little lacking right now. There's no Tarkowski, there's no Coleman, there's no Branthwaite. I think Everton will play a few kids as well. I don't think they'll be anywhere near full strength, given that they have nothing left to play for. So, yeah, it's Isak's injury status. Like, you get the impression if... Do you think Isak could be benched? This is the other question. Is it more a case of, Newcastle might be confident against Everton this week, so why risk Isak? Leave him on the bench, and if things go wrong, at that point you can bring him on. I really think Isak will be in the squad. I can't see him being completely out. Unless something terrible has happened that Howe has been hiding from us. I don't know if that's the case or not. You never quite know with Eddie Howe, but I think Isak should be in the squad. Given that Wilson was a bit disappointing against Arsenal last week, Isak is such a brilliant football player, even when he hasn't been in the best of form. I definitely don't think he's a must sell. The problem is I don't think we'll get leaks for Newcastle. It's very rare that we get genuine leaks from Newcastle. There are a few grifters, a few people who claim to have Newcastle news, and it is often not the truth, guesswork. So it's really, really difficult. Really difficult. Even if I saw early team news from Isak, unless it's from one of the few accounts I trust, or few people I trust, I would be concerned about the legitimacy of it. I really would. But, we could see, like, for example, has Isak traveled? I mean, that information might already be available, to be honest. Should we have a look? In fact, let me just do it on, we'll just do it on screen with you guys. We'll do it together. I'll just search Isak traveled. Oh, wait. Here's the problem. Newcastle play at home. So, will he be on? He'll be on the team bus, but we won't know that yet. When will the team buses be arriving? Probably in another, hour? Usually 2 hours before the game, no? Maybe a little more? Okay, well, we might get some. We might see if Isak is at St James's Park, but I don't think that's gonna happen quite yet. That's the difficulty there, isn't it? Righty ho. We got a few more super chats here. Things you love to see. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. So Alan says 1 free transfer. Joint second place. Do I sell Rodgers, Palmer, KDB for a Liverpool asset? No Salah, Wissa, Marmoush, and Wood in front. Don't want to overcook it. And who to captain? I mean, Wood is a potential transfer out, I think. Wood and Rodgers, I think, are potential transfers out for you, Alan. Liverpool assets, I like Luis Diaz. If you want to go Arsenal and you can't afford Saka, I'd be looking at Martinelli. In terms of those forwards, if you want to go a little different, Welbeck, if you want to go a little the same, Evan Nilsson. So that's kind of what I'd be looking to do. In terms of captaincy, do you have Bowen? If so, maybe look there. Salah's your safe pick, but you don't have him anyway. We're looking at Luis Diaz is a risky captain. Other captains outside of Salah are really Bowen, Saka, and some people saying Evan Nilsson as well. So I'll kind of be looking there. And Burmo as well, if you have him. That's where I'd be going, I think. And Criniddle? Am I saying that right? Criniddle says, on concert, thoughts on Man United scoring once. Now, I think of the fixtures this week, I think Aston Villa have one of the better chances of a clean sheet. They will be looking to lock things down. This is a very serious game for Aston Villa. You know, they're not going to be messing around. This is not going to be an open and it's not going to be a friendly match. It's a very serious game for Aston Villa, and they will be looking to lock things up with a secure win. And that's most likely going to mean keeping another clean sheet. By the way, Aston Villa, they're the best defence in the Premier League right now. Right now. No, over the last couple of months, they are clean sheet masters. So definitely Konsa would be one of the better defenders, I think. FPL Kim says, I will cap the Norwegian beast. Very nice. Chewy says, have a very similar attack to yours, Dan, with Salah and Watkins instead of Palmer and Marmoush. With one free transfer, would you transfer any of those attackers out? I don't think so, to be honest, Chewy, mate. I think you've got the template. Salah and Watkins look decent. I mean, out of the other attackers, like, I'm not super keen on Rodgers. I think Rodgers is fine. Like, Mateta is a player who is definitely a player who can be sacrificed, I think. Rodgers and Mateta would be the kind of players I'd look at maybe removing. But that's not because they're necessarily bad picks, but more we could perhaps do a little bit better there. So, yeah, those are the kind of guys I'd be looking to remove. Mateta, Rodgers, Sarr, if you have him in your team. Wood. Who else? Not Eze. Yeah. And yeah, I'd be looking at Liverpool. Basically, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton, and maybe that's probably it. Bournemouth attackers. Maybe some love for Newcastle. I don't know. Some people talking about Gordon as a differential, and you know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate Gordon as a differential pick at all. Like, you can do a lot worse, I think. Like Harvey Barnes, if you still got him kicking around, why not, man? Why not? All right. Dave with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Dave. What about Watkins, captain? Well, again, I do fancy Watkins to score in this game. But if we're looking for that the super high potential points, if we're looking for that ceiling, who has got the potential to get the mega score, you're looking at primarily midfielders. We're also primarily looking at games which could have a real open feel about them. A lot of attacking football, a lot of, exhibition football in a way. And for that, we're maybe looking away from the teams that just need to get the job done to achieve their season targets. And Aston Villa, with Champions League football at play, I know it's not in their hands, but they just need to get the 3 points. So you feel if Aston Villa go 1-0, 2-0 up, are they going for a third goal? Probably not. They probably, will go defense priority. If they're 1-0 late on, defend. 10 minutes, 80 minutes onwards, putting the ball in the corners and getting as many players around it as possible to waste time. Martinez, I could already see a Martinez yellow card for time wasting. I can already see it if Aston Villa find themselves in the lead. So for that reason, look, I don't mind Watkins as a captain, but I don't think he would be top of my list. I think there are some slightly better options. Max Littleproud is in the chat. Says, hi, mate. Hoping to stay top 10 today. Yes, Max is doing absolutely amazing. Should we have a look where you're at, Max? And what your chances are. Let's go overall league. See if we can find you here. 5th right now. But that guy in 1st is so clear, by the way, isn't he? How has that happened? It's come out of nowhere. You know what? You got a chance of 2nd here, Max, to be fair, mate. What's your team saying? I know you're probably not going to reveal to anyone what your moves are. But let's see here. Okay. All right. I think I have an idea of what you might be doing. I think you're going to play Kivior instead of Munoz. You're going to play Raya instead of Martinez. You're going to stick with double Man City defense, I imagine. And you're probably looking at Sharda or Sarr out. Or maybe Rodgers. Sharda, Rodgers, or Sarr out. And I think you're going to bring in... Depends how much money you have in your bank. I love this guessing game, man. 2.9 in the bank. So you could be looking at a Luis Diaz. You could be looking at maybe trying to find a way to get Saka in. Not sure how you do that, to be honest. Probably not going to be... Oh, and you've got Isak there as well. Interesting. You're going to sell Isak to get Saka, maybe. I think you're going to go Bowen captain. I can already see it. By the way, Max, if you fancy, by the way, no matter what happens at the end of this season, if you fancy coming on the FPL Mate channel over the summer, I'd be very, very, very privileged and honoured to have you on here. I always find it super, super interesting to chat to someone after a really strong season, because the way your mentality is after a strong season is just so different to after a bad season, and I really need a different side, I guess, a different side of the thinking and the mindset, I guess. So I'd love to have a chat over the summer on the channel. I think other people would find that interesting as well. So let me know. Let me know. You got me on Twitter. Send me a DM if you want. Would be a privilege to come on. Let's do it then, man. Let's lock it in. Well, I'm going to take a little break after this week. But yeah, we'll figure something out, mate. We'll figure something out. I'll send you a DM. Right. Anyway, back to business. And by the way, a massive good luck to Max for this final week. It doesn't look like you're going for the win, Max, but if you can get a single digit finish, I think that is incredible, mate. I think it is, and we're all wishing you the best of luck. And one thing I do like about you, Max, is that you have a decent personality, decent chat, and decent banter. There's a lot of the people who do well in FPL can be a bit dry. That's no disrespect for them. Everyone has different personalities, and everyone prefers different types of people as well. But not to gas you up too much, Max, but you're a little more interesting than some of the other people in contention to win FPL this year. We'll put it that way. Right. Back to business. We got a super chat from Victoria's Secret, who says, top of my mini league, but chasing 7 points for a top 50k. Go Welbeck instead of Evan Nilsson. I think that's the kind of thinking. Also, is KDB to Saka worth a -4 if we get news that Saka starts? It depends. If we get news that KDB also starts, then possibly not, right? I don't think KDB is a bad pick for Gameweek 38. I don't think he's a bad pick. Don't get me wrong. A starting Saka is better. As an individual and direct transfer, I kind of like it. But for a -4, maybe. If you're going to captain Saka, I think that changes things. I would take a -4 for Saka if you really want to captain him. If you got no Salah, no Bowen, or maybe you just don't like Salah or Bowen for a captain, then yeah, man. That's where I'd be looking. Saka is hype. Hell yeah, Saka's hype. Max says, I've rubbed a few people the wrong way. Yeah, good, mate. Good. If everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong. Well, it's opinion. Some people like, your PR-friendly characters, and that's totally fine. But for me, I like someone with a little bit more jazz. Criniddle says, do you recall team's weakest defending set pieces? I can find out for you right now. With the joy and power of Fantasy Football Hub, this sponsors of FPL Mate. Get all of your FPL news, tips, advice, and tools from the greatest in the game, Fantasy Football Hub. They actually didn't pay me to say that. I just thought it would be funny. Right, so if we go teams defensive, we can see set pieces goals conceded. Or set piece attempts conceded. Yeah. So West Ham, dead bottom. So they can see the most set piece chances. But let's tighten things up here. Change the range. Let's go last 10 game weeks. And it's still West Ham. West Ham, Spurs classically poor at defending set pieces. And I think given who they'll be most likely playing at centre-back this week, I think more of the same. Fulham there as well, interestingly. Quite nice for De Bruyne on corners. Gavardio, Haaland, trying to knock in some of those corner goals. Interesting. There seems to be a correlation between headed chances conceded here as well. So we're seeing like Fulham and West Ham pretty high for headed chances conceded. So Fulham, Spurs, and West Ham. Probably doesn't help us too much with Brighton against Spurs, Ipswich against West Ham. But Man City against Fulham's quite nice. Could be pretty interesting. Right, there you go. That was straightforward. This is why I love Fantasy Football Hub. You think I'm waffling? You think I'm just saying it because they sponsored the YouTube channel? No. They sponsored the YouTube channel because I'm desperate to work with them every season because I love their stuff generally. Genuinely? You know what I hate? I hate people who say generally instead of genuinely, and then I just did it myself. I've let myself down here, guys. I apologize. Brawl Star says Martinez, Gavardio, Estupinian, Consa, Salah, and Burmo, Palmer, Rogers, Isak, Evan Nilsson, Wisser, bench, Henderson, Munoz, Eza, Timber, 1 free transfer, 0.1 in the bank. I'm guessing you're asking for some tips and tricks. Defense looks good. Midfield looks reasonably good. Front line looks pretty good as well. I would maybe play Eza instead of Rogers. And after that, any transfer for you really is a luxury one. You could do Palmer to Saka if we get the leak that Saka starts. I think that's probably where I'd look to go. You know, even with Isak, you've got Rodgers there to cover. I don't think I'd be looking at making any defensive or goalkeeper transfers this week. So Palmer to Saka is probably the way I'd go if we get a leak that Saka starts, which fingers crossed we will. In terms of Isak, I think you're kind of covered with him. You already have Evan Nilsson, Watkins, Welbeck are the other forwards you might be looking at, but I'd be less concerned about that. Red Sox Kid with their $5 Australia, mate. And Red Sox Kids is down 1 point in mini league. He has triple captain left. I'm thinking Saliba for White, and then need help. Cunha for Evan Nilsson, or Sarr for Luis Diaz for a -4, or neither. Well, first of all, mate, I think Cunha actually looks better than he did a couple of days ago. With Strand Larsen potentially out, Cunha's minutes potential has increased, so that could be okay. Sarr for Luis Diaz, I don't mind. That's a -4, right? Do you need to do Saliba for White? That's the question. Do you need to do that? Can you cover it with anyone? Have you got Conte? Have you got Gavardio? Have you got Burn? Have you got even like a Munoz? I'd probably rather play than, you know, be looking at hits for defenders. I know it's technically not a hit for a defender, but it blocks you from making an attacking move, which I would probably quite like to do this week. So yeah, I would ask, do you actually need to make a defender transfer? If we think that this is going to be, and this is Gameweek 38 is always the week with the fewest clean sheets, or, you know, certainly the most goals conceded on average. So therefore, do we need to make a defender transfer this week? Or can you cover it with someone else? Maybe. Good afternoon, Dan Cross, Elite Accent. Thank you very much, mate. Will we be seeing you later, sir, at FPL Meets? Alan Macker says, how does this sound? Sell Palmer to Salah and bench Wood for 3-5-2. I like it. I like it. I have KDB, Rodgers, and Burn, Bowen, Salah, and Wissett and Marmoush ahead, or sell Rodgers for Diaz. No, I like it, man. I like it. If you want to play safe, Salah is the guy you need, and he's the guy you need to captain as well. That's why he's winning the captain poll right now. That's why there's a lot of Salah chat. So yeah, that's your safe move, Alan. That's your safe move. You cover yourself really nicely there. Edo says, do you think I take a hit for Saliba to White if the alternative is Lacroix or Robinson on my bench? I get that Lacroix and Robinson aren't ideal. If I was just using a free transfer, I would maybe think about just making a White move because, yeah, it's not great. But for a hit, I don't know, man. I just don't know if would be taking hits for defenders. It doesn't seem right. Amir says, asking for the 10th time, who is the best manager for table bonus? Well, thank you for asking 10 times. Activity in the chat really does help. But unfortunately, we've got a super chat that's just come in from H. £10 super chat. That's the big money. That's very generous, H. Thank you very much. Loved your work in steps, by the way. Raya, Williams, Burn, Aitnuri, Bowen, Salah, Gibbs, White, and Burma, Rogers, Watkins, Evan Nilsson. Bench boost active. Pickford, Isak, Diaz, Mikalenko. Please help with who you think I should captain. If you want to play it safe, then Salah is your guy. If you want to take a risky route, I'd be looking at Mbermo and Evan Nilsson in your squad. No. Oh, wait. Bowen. Bowen's right there. Bowen is right there. I'd have a sneaky, cheeky look at that. Yeah. Bowen. Salah safe. Bowen risky. And Burmo, Watkins, Evan Nilsson, very risky. Very risky indeed. How's the captain poll going, by the way? We've got 52% on Mr. Mo Salah, 24% on Bowen, 9% on Saka, and an incredible 15% on other. FPL ask, are you here? If so, I've seen your tag. I'm not sure if that's reliable. I've never heard of this account before. I'm going to go ahead and choose to choose to not believe it. I don't know. It's too risky, man. It's too risky. Now, what we got from Craig Hope? Craig Hope says, for those asking about Alexander Isak, I'll have an update on my WhatsApp channel below before the 2:30 FPL deadline. Unbelievable. You know what? WhatsApp group chat. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I've got to join a WhatsApp group chat to get team news. Thing is, I don't want to do that because I don't really want my number out there, to be honest. This guy's been right multiple times. He even said that Isak was starting and that Gordon wasn't in the squad against Leicester. Yeah, but my issue is, like, you don't know when people are deleting tweets. We see it a lot where people will just guess team lineups every week and just delete the ones that they get wrong, so it looks like they're getting it right all the time. So unless, you get, like, every single week bang on with no gaps in between, and there very, very clearly seems to be weeks that he has not. I mean, this is the first time he's supposedly put out a lineup prediction in a month. Did he put more lineup predictions out between then and get them wrong and delete them? These are my kind of questions. And I do not feel comfortable spreading information leaks unless I am personally really confident in them. And besides, Craig Hopes says he's going to leak Isak news before deadline anyway. So we will know before deadline because, someone will as soon as that goes out on WhatsApp, people will be racing to tweet that news out. So we will know. We will know. But anyway, I need to make sure I'm doing my hair. I'm going out as soon as this stream ends. So we need to make sure my hair is nice and curly. Right, anyway, back to the chat. Back to the chat. Where are we? How long have we got? 2 hours till deadline. Just over. Great feedback, Dan. Thanks. I mean, look, it's not feedback. It's just my process of team news. Like, you can believe whatever you guys want. I don't want to tell you guys what to do. And I could be very wrong. And there's a good chance if there's too much scrutiny, you will miss key information. But is it worth the risk? To me, no. To me, no. Hey, Dan, will Erdegaard start today? I think actually Erdegaard is potentially at risk. I think he is genuinely at risk. I think Nwaneri is primed for some minutes. And if he's not starting right wing because Saka's playing, then he's probably playing, right central midfield, attacking midfield, whatever you want to call it, instead. So I think there's a very good chance that one of Saka or Erdegaard drops out for Nwaneri. Any news on Isak? The news is that we will be getting a leak. We will be getting an Isak leak. Can't tell you exactly when, but we will find out before deadline, which is great. Absolutely great. Amir says bye with a broken heart. Oh, bye, Amir. I'm sorry to see you go, my friend. Anyway, let's see questions in the chat. It's easier for you to avoid Isak news. You don't own him, whereas other people who own him will believe anything. I don't. Yeah, I think naturally as humans we're inclined to believe anything that suits our agenda. So on X, people are saying Isak starts. Yes, but who? Who is saying Isak starts? This is the question that we need to be asking ourselves. Is it people we trust? Or is if it's an account that you have never heard of before today, probably a bad sign. If they don't have, I know it sounds so like pretentious or whatever, but if you don't have a large following on Twitter, I think generally speaking, that's a bad sign because anyone who can reliably tell you early team information will get followers if they are doing it reliably and consistently. They will just naturally gain thousands of followers because people will want that information. So if they don't have those thousands of followers, why don't they? Is it because they haven't got that reputation of getting things right? Has says 29 points ahead of mini league. Second place as triple captain left. Differential is I have Salah as captain. Do I take a hit? Pope or Raya in goal? I don't think you need to take any kind of hit for if you're winning your mini league. Triple captain is whatever. It is what it is. Pope or Raya in goal is interesting. The odds actually favour Pope, but I think I'd be more inclined to go for Raya. Particularly if you're playing it safe, because you're winning a league. Differential captain is nice, though. I don't think I'd take a hit. Well, FPL Chewy is now saying Isak starts. According to who? Who is saying that? I don't even know. Okay, the slightly more reliable accounts are starting to come out. Bro became an owl? Exactly. Who? Who? Oh, wait, actually, I found a reliable account that I trust who says that Isak starts. Wait, Isak starts. His price was in training yesterday. Maybe on the bench table, touching game. He only costs 40 million. Who costs 40 million for Newcastle? Jolinton. So it looks like Isak does start. I'm not going to say I'm 100% on that, but I actually am. I like this. I like this source. I found a good source that I like. So I'm going to tentatively say that Isak starts. Okay. Right. Yeah, I've got a couple of sources now that I like. I'm gonna tentatively say that Isak is starting. So that means you're probably not going to sell Isak now. Isak, I'll put in the ticker, Isak rumored to be starting. But we'll have to see. I'm going to wait for one more source that I want to confirm this before I'm happy with it. Buy Isak then? I don't know about buying Isak, no. Like Isak is a decent pick, but his form has not been great. Everton are a reasonably defensive team usually. I know it's a different scenario this week. Gameweek 38, nothing to play for. And also, we're still potentially looking at early subs here. Or are we? Because Newcastle do need to get this done. What do you think of Trossard or Martinelli? I prefer Martinelli. I don't think Trossard is anywhere near guaranteed minutes. FPL Jigger here. Thanks, Dan, for including me in the experts video all season. Good luck for the final game week, and differential captain is the way. Completely agreed, my friend. Completely agreed. Sophie says, big up to the Arsenal women's team. Champions of Europe for the second time. Of course, yes, last night. Arsenal winning the European Championship. That sounds like the Euros. The Champions League. So massive congratulations to Arsenal's women's team, who, certainly in my lifetime, have been the best women's team in England. So there we go. All right, we've got any other team leaks coming in. Let's check it out. Don't know. Don't think we've got anything else. But yeah, it looks like Isak's good to go. It looks like no Trippier as well. You still trust Cole Palmer? No, I do not. I trust differentials. You're going to the parade tomorrow. Awesome stuff. That'll be good vibes there for sure. Will Trippier gets minutes? I don't think it's looking good. I don't think it's looking good for Trippier. I don't think it looks like he's not starting. Certainly. Is Sells to Martinez worth a hit? No goalkeeper is worth a hit this week, I don't think. Havertz captain. Thoughts lad won't ask again. I don't like it. I personally, I don't think there's any guarantee that Havertz will start. People, if you're saying Havertz will start, you've got other people thinking Trossard will start. Other people say Martinelli and Saka and Noneri and Marino and Erdegaard, and all of these players can't start. Someone's going to be on the bench, right? And if you're concerned then that's probably a bad sign for captaincy. Like, sorry guys. I wouldn't be looking to captain Havertz, no. I'm hoping we could get some Arsenal team news though. But even if we do and Havertz is starting, I don't think I would captain Havertz because, like, what are we looking at? 50 to 60 minutes? 70 is a push. Steven says, hi, Dan. Would you sell Mbermo, Salah, or De Bruyne for Luis Diaz? No, I wouldn't sell any of those for Luis Diaz. Saka or Salah captain? Salah for safety, Saka for risk. KDB to Saka for a hit, only worth it if Saka hauls. I think it's only worth it if you're going to captain Saka. And also, if we get a Saka leak. If we get a Saka leak and you want to captain Saka, I would take a hit for him. If you want to. Captain Evan Nilsson or Bowen? I prefer Bowen to Evan Nilsson. Anyone thinking about selling Isak, by the way, I would strongly advise holding off on that. It looks like he's starting. So, yeah, Isak's certainly no longer a player who is a must sell. Chance of Digne playing? About 50%. Aston Villa seem to alternate Digne and Maatsen, and if the alternation continues in its current trend, that does imply that it's Digne starting. Another live stream says Isak is starting. This live stream also said Isak is starting, to be fair. HBK Neil says we're doing the Club World Cup Fantasy deadline 15th of June. When am I back? I might be away, genuinely. Let's check my calendar. When do I come back? I come back on the 11th. Maybe I'll do like one video. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I don't think too many people will be interested in Club World Cup Fantasy, but yeah, I'll try and make a video. I'll do some research. Maybe I'll do some research when I'm on holiday. Savinho and 1.4 to who? Martinelli, maybe? Can't quite afford. Can you afford Luis Diaz there? Not sure. Who should I use as my assistant manager? I'm not really looked too closely at this. Rob T posted something not so long ago. Let's see what they said. We've got a system manager here. Oh, I keep yawning. I didn't sleep too much last night. I was too excited for FPL to finally end. Okay. So the highest projected assistant manager points. That's gave me 25, 35. What? Wait. I know he has tweeted since then. There we go. That's better. Right. If we're looking for table bonus, Wolves looks like the way to go. Vitor Pereira. If you're looking for nice, safe, and secure, you're looking at Arteta, Howe, Iraola. Yeah, okay. So you can have a little look at Wolves and Vitor Pereira if you want to go for something interesting there for your final manager of the season. Let's see what else we got here. Projected goals and clean sheet odds. Any changes here? Arsenal top for goals. Liverpool and Bournemouth in second there. Newcastle in fourth. Brighton in fifth. So, a little down on Man City. Brentford and Aston Villa and West Ham, who are other popular attacks, I guess. Liverpool, 29% of chance of a clean sheet. I'm not having that, by the way. I'm absolutely not having that. Top projected scorers, Salah at number 1, 0.82, Isak 0.8. Wilson obviously will drop out now, but yes. Oh, okay. Evan Nilsson has caught up with Welbeck here, presumably after press conferences, which I'm surprised by, I have to admit. Saka's up there, and this presumes a start, by the way. It presumes a start. So if a player is not starting, then you can wipe them off the list, I guess. Luis Diaz 0.47. I see. I'm not sure I like this data at the moment, and that's not bias, but it's because the goal share is season data and it doesn't take into consideration form. For example, Salah, Isak, Haaland, the 3 top players. Yes, their season-long goal share is pretty high, but actually, if you take maybe a 10-game week sample size, it's their share is significantly less, which should impact the projections. Like these, I like, because these are done week by week, and it's just converted bookmakers odds. These I like. This I'm not so keen on. For those still asking about Isak, it is not confirmed that he starts. Nothing's confirmed until Newcastle say it themselves, but it is looking good. It is looking very, very positive on Isak starting. Lots of rumours circulating around him starting. According to sources that I do trust, Isak is starting. There's just some other players there on the projections. But again, I like Eze more than this. If you take form into consideration of the 2 teams, you've got a better chance there. Assistant manager projections, I like. That's done on win, lose, draw projections. I like this. This makes sense to me. Other than I still don't think Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet. But anyway. Right, how are we looking for time, guys? We have got 1 hour and 44 minutes until deadline. Still a bit of time, to be fair. Still a little bit of time. Is Marino starting? Not sure. Not sure. I don't feel super confident about it. And even if he is starting, like, where will he play? I'm not sure. Last 5 seasons, there's been a 5-0 in Gameweek 38. Who will it be this season? You know what? I'd have a look at Arsenal for that. I would have a look at Arsenal for the 5-0. Who else? I mean, I guess Man City always have a 5-0 in them. Newcastle maybe as well. Yeah, that's about it. Dan Cross says, time to go to the pub. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. One final bench list? Oh, for sure. Well, for sure there'll be a bench list. Don't you worry about that. The bench list will be coming in. We've got to do one more before the end of the season. We've got to do one more Norwegian board as well. Bench Rodgers or Clivert? Ooh, tough one. Tough one. You kind of want to take a risk on Clivert, but the minutes, man. Yeah, Clivert is... I think it's pretty likely that Clivert does actually get benched. So maybe just play Rodgers at this point. Bench Areola or Raya? Oh, you play Raya ahead of Areola, I think. Areola or Pope? I play Pope again. But this will all be spoken about in the bench list, I imagine. Hi, Danny. What do you think about triple captain on Bowen? Yeah, my biggest triple captain advice for this week is just to play the triple captain on whoever you would captain anyway. So, what do you think about triple captain on Bowen? Is to me the same question as what do you think of normal captain on Bowen? It's not like you can plan out for a future game week now for triple captain. You just, whoever you're planning on captaining this week, instead of not using your triple captain, you do use your triple captain. It's the same question. So yeah, if you like Bowen as a normal captain, then you like him as a triple captain. I do like Bowen as a normal captain, so I like him as a triple captain. So yeah, I like it. What do you think about selling Palmer to get Saka? Yeah, I think that's a totally reasonable move. Arguably a sensible move. Steve says, "Hey Dan, almost 8 p.m. here in Malaysia. Confirm Isak out." No, I cannot confirm Isak is in, but according to a source that I trust, Isak is starting. So if you need to go to bed, I totally understand. But that's the best information I can give you right now. Would you play Barnes if you still owned him? Yeah, I would. Hittick with the super chat says start 2 out of Bradley, Gavardiol, Housen, and Burn. I would start Burn and one of Gavardiol or Housen. I'm going to say Gavardiol for the attacking threat. Housen's not bad for attacking threat, to be fair, though. Man City have more to play for. I'm going to say Gavardiol and Burn. I think. Okay, so we've got some lineups. Overtino's just sent me in. Thank you, Richard. So for Manchester United, Onana, according to this leak, Onana has been dropped from the starting 11 and Heaven and Mount both start for Manchester United. I'm not sure how much that impacts FPL. Other than, yeah, as Richard's just said in the DM, it could be good for Aston Villa attackers. You would have thought, maybe, or is it? Bayindir starting. It's arguably worse. It's arguably worse for Villa attackers. No. Heaven and Mount is interesting. Wonder where Mount will play. Probably in an attacking midfield position. But that's like a more of a like a control type player. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Does that imply that Man United hope to have a lot of the ball or more of the ball? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Right, Bob with a super chat here. £5 says a beer for your holes, Dan. Have fun. Thank you very much. I will be redeeming that beer. Can I redeem it tonight, Bob? I'm out this afternoon and evening. Can I redeem the beer this evening? Would that be okay? Although I'm in London, so it'll be London beer prices. So actually, maybe not. But I am in Cyprus. I'm heading to Cyprus next Friday for like 10 days, 11 days. Nice villa, chilling by the pool, celebrating another season done. I'm taking my Xbox out to Cyprus on holiday. I'm taking my Xbox on holiday. I don't care, guys. I want to enjoy my holiday and my relaxation time my way. I know people won't like that. But on that Cyprus holiday, I will redeem that beer. I'll be watching the Champions League final out there. Perhaps I'll get a nice Cypriot beer on that day. Thank you for the super sticker, Cyprus lad. I appreciate that, man. Whereabouts in Cyprus near Paphos? Somewhere on the east, southeast. Somewhere in the southeast. Rataris? CJ says, nah, respect that. Zebdo says, you do you. Hey, I'm glad some people are not too critical of me taking my Xbox on holiday, because when I tell people I'm taking my Xbox on holiday, people are like, what? Aren't you gonna like lay by the pool on holiday? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that for a bit, but then maybe I'll also play FIFA for a couple of hours as well. Come on, man. PS5 is better than Xbox. What, on the technical perspective? Technically, no, it's not. The console itself, the Xbox, has got better specs. But look, if you prefer some of the PS5 games, then that's a personal choice. But I am always an Xbox man. Bob says upgrade for London, mate. Bob, that really wasn't meant to be a hint. It really wasn't. Oh, I really appreciate that though, man. Bob, you're an absolute legend. Okay, right. Redeemable now in London. I will be redeeming my beer token. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate that, brother. And good luck for the for Gameweek 38. Good luck, my friend. I really appreciate that, dude. What a hero. What a hero. Moo here. It's an Australian dollars super chat, so we got to get the X out again. Moo says Munoz to White, 47 points on top using bench boost. Well, Moo, if you're using bench boost, you want to have a grouse final game week, then you got to have a strong bench. And we got to know that Munoz probably not going to keep a clean sheet. So, if you're looking for a clean sheet man, Ben White could do the job. Ah, indeed. Indeed. Xbox on holiday is diabolical, but enjoy. Oh, I will. It's a personal choice. It is a personal choice. Dan Cross says, can only sit and do nothing for so long. This is it, man. This is it, man. Did Steve Irwin just come back to life for a sec? That's disrespectful. Better than Ange in his press. Nice. FFS Daniel Sand, that accent. Come on, mate. We've got to do a couple of accents here in the chat. I mean, feel free if you're leaving a super chat and I'm reading out super chats. Feel free to include an accent in that super chat, and I will read it in your chosen accent. But as far if any super chats come in and they're in Australian dollars, we gotta get out the accent, mate. We gotta get it out. Didn't even know packing an Xbox in your suitcase was something that could be done. Oh, mate, I've been doing it for years. Dollary doos. Yep, couple of dollary doos. Diaz and Murphy out for Bowen and Kivior. I don't think Diaz is a must sell. I get you're trying to free up some money though, right? Dingo dollars. I like dollary doos more than dingo dollars. Couple of dollary doos in the super chat. Is Cunha a good option for captain? I'm not convinced enough by his minutes to say that he's a good option for captain. So I'm going to say no. Like, don't get me wrong. Cunha has the potential to do crazy things on any given game week. But yeah, I'm not super keen on it. I think it's too risky. It's a bridge too far. Connor says, hey, Danny boy, I have Bradley, Saliba, Dina, Munoz, and Gavardio. Do I take a hit if leaks say Bradley and Dina are benched? So that would, if both of them are benched, yes. But if one of them are benched, probably no. Probably no. Assistant manager pick. If you want to go risky, go for Pereira at Wolves. If you want to go safe, go for Arteta at Arsenal. Would you start Munoz or Bradley? I guess Munoz. A little safer. With current information, I guess Munoz. But both are, I don't think either of them are 100% like safe, but like safe to start. We'll have to wait and see. One more. Benching Eze for Cunha. I'd want to start Eze. I think I'd want to start Eze this week. Mumu says, thanks, Dan. Accent approved with the Australian flag and a little kangaroo. Well, how about that? That's bloody oath, mate. Bloody oath. Thank you so much, Mumu. I'll give that a little thumbs up. Right. Is it time to bust out the bench list? Is it about that time? Oh, we've got another super chat in Australian dollars from Matt. And Matt says, got one free transfer. Rogers, KDB, Alanga, Marmouche. What hit? One free transfer. Rogers, KDB, Alanga, Marmouche. I quite like KDB. Alangaroo. I don't know if I'd want to keep Alangaroo in my team or not. Alangaroo. Alangaroo. That's hilarious, honestly. Oh, I should do this for a living. Right. Alangaroo has got to go. How much in the bank? Can you afford Alangaroo to Martinelli? I'd certainly consider it. Marmouche could maybe go. Rogers could maybe go. I think KDB is good to stay. Alangaroo's the one I'd be looking at moving out. But if you want to free up a bit of money, you could consider going Alanga and Marmouche out for Luis Diaz and Evan Nilsson, Welbeck. If you want to take a hit, that's what I'd be looking to do. I'd keep Rogers. I'd keep KDB. That's what I'd do. Alangaroo. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, Paredes. No accent request in this super chat, so we're gonna go normal. Normal for me, that is. Fulkrug versus Welbeck. I don't think I'd be going for Fulkrug. I'm not convinced. I'm not 100% convinced Fulkrug starts. I like the look of him starting, but I'm only like probably like 50% on Fulkrug starting, to be honest. So I'd definitely go Welbeck over Fulkrug. You don't need to replace Isak, remember, because we think he's going to be starting now. Can't own Evanilson, playing the bench boost, already own Wisser and Trolley. Who's Trolley? Trolley Watkins. I mean, yeah, the answer is Welbeck, but the answer is also you don't need to replace Isak anymore now that he's heavily rumored to be starting. So, yeah, luxury. It's a luxury move at this point. You can maybe do something else. What percentage are you confident that Isak starts? 90 plus? Yeah, 90 plus. Yeah, 90 plus %. Yeah, at this point. I don't know how many minutes that he'll get in that game, but for a start, it's looking good. It's looking really good. Dan, I'm going major differential captain and going Welbeck. Nolan, good luck. I like it. I like it, man. Go for it and enjoy. Bowen or Watkins? I prefer Bowen. Marmouche and De Bruyne to Evan Nilsson and Saka? You could do. You could do. But again, I don't think that is like. Obviously, I think you're improving your team with those two transfers, but he like those Man City players are fine. There's nothing wrong with them really. How come he hasn't trained and we feel 90% he's going to start? Players often will play at the weekend despite not training. Often it is part of a plan for them to not train. You know, if they're not at 100% fitness or they don't want to put too much strain on the player's body, you will often see players will not train throughout the week, maybe do individual sessions and still start at the weekend. So that's definitely a possibility. Generally, the real reason I think Isak's going to start is because sources that I trust are saying yes, Isak is starting. So, I mean, that's a pretty good reason. I think it's a pretty good reason. Mark says, still think Isak is worth selling, as I don't think he'll get amazing minutes. It depends. Are we talking at him? Are we talking at him? I think a lot of people may have entered this morning, woken up this morning, what I'm trying to say. They may have woken up this morning thinking, if I sell Isak to Evan Nilsson or Welbeck or whoever, that is going to free up some money for me to make such and such other upgrade that I really want to do. And now you might be telling yourself that Isak is a bad pick because you need to sell Isak to fund another move. Whereas, let me tell you, as a non-Isak owner, he is a player I fear this game week. And I don't think he is anywhere near being a must-sell. I struggle to advise to sell Isak full stop. You could still, with the right moves, you could still benefit from selling Isak. If you need to free up some budget, taking a -4, trying to go differential, selling Isak, downgrading him, upgrading somewhere else is, you have that chance of things going right. But let's not fool ourselves into saying that Isak is a bad pick now that we believe he's going to be starting. I just can't. I can't do it. So Chronisk says start Sharda or Eze. It's tough, man. I think I would go Eze. In that one. It's just Sharda has got some good results recently, but I think I would still start Eze. His form is better, and I think that's going to be an open game. I'd be looking to start Eze. It's going to be a big bench list this week, huh? How likely is Acuna start? Probably like 60%. It's more likely to start than not start, I would say, but it's it's far from a guarantee. And we probably want guarantees this week more than ever, right? Like, I think I'd be looking at keeping Cunha this week, but I don't think I'd buy him, and I don't think I'd captain him. Right, bench list time. I've teased it enough. I've teased you all enough. Oh, Dan, you tease. You absolute tease. Show me the bench list. I've had enough of your teasing ways. Okay, just hold on. There could be a lot of players on this. By the end. Okie schmoky. Should we do defenders or goalkeepers on the side today? We'll do defenders on the side. Because I think it's a very different conversation. Right. Shout out players in the chat that you want to include on the bench list. I will not be including players who are players you just don't want to bench. So there's not going to be any Salahs. There's not going to be Bowen. There's not going to be... We'll put Isak in because I know a lot of people are concerned about him now. Or, actually less concerned maybe. But, Trossard, Martinelli, not going in the bench list. Actually, Trossard maybe. But this is not about transfers. This is about players you already have. So I don't want, those transfer targets, I don't really want to do them in the bench list. I want to talk about players you already have in your team. So, like, Ismail Assar is a great one. We can put Eze here. We can put, someone says Concert. What else is the chat saying? Nico Williams. So he can go in there. Munoz is probably going to go below. Sharda is, I'm going to drop him in between these two. Rogers, I'm going to put, sound like a Minecraft villager. Let's put Rogers somewhere around here. Right, Cunha would go... I think I'd play Cunha here. Oh, I missed your super chat. I'm so sorry. Kaveen says Eze and Ben White versus Semenyo and Nico Williams. I prefer Eze and Ben White. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely prefer Eze and Ben White compared to Semenyo and Williams. I prefer Ben White to Williams. Semenyo and Eze is a bit more of a toss-up. I like them both. But I certainly prefer White to Williams. Milenkovic. Should we just group Williams and Milenk? And then someone's going to say, but what about Aina? Yes. What about Aina indeed? It's the same. Why wouldn't Pope start, weirdo? Well, I mean, I can't disagree with the second part there. I am certainly a weirdo. I think I've made that evident throughout this stream. But I think Pope will start. So yeah, I am a weirdo, but I think Pope is going to start. So you are barking up the wrong tree, so to speak. Marmouche. Let's throw him in. He's going to be above Cunha, somewhere around Rodgers and Eze. I'm going to put him here. Pope versus Raya. I'm going to say Raya. Right, who else do we need? Chris Wood seems popular here, and De Bruyne seems popular here. Why wouldn't Pope start? Was not to you, it was to the other subscriber. Ah, the other subscriber. I only have two. John, you're one, and then the other guy is the Daniel Rayner. Is Pope going to start? Yes, Pope is going to start. I'd be very surprised if he didn't. Right, De Bruyne. De Bruyne is going to go high for me. I know people won't like seeing that. But for the record, I would put the likes of Saka above De Bruyne. But if we're talking about benching players, I don't think you bench De Bruyne. I don't think you bench him full stop. Right, Savinho is going to go to the bottom. Palmer is going to go maybe here, like penalty taker tax, puts him higher naturally, I think. Cunha news, please. I haven't got any Cunha news right now, I'm afraid. I don't know if I'll get it either. I'll throw a Langer in a second as well. Right. Haven't got any other team news right now. Unfortunately, I am continually checking though. Right, Alanga, Wood. Alanga and Wood. So Alanga's going pretty low for me. I don't think this game really suits him. Could even put him below Sarr. I think his minutes maybe puts him ahead of Sarr. Minutes potential at least. Chris Wood. Probably here. Ike Nori. Not super keen, to be honest. Don't think there's going to be a clean sheet there. Livramento. Very good. I like him. Lots of people asking about Wissa. Are we really thinking about benching Wissa? I think I genuinely prefer Wissa to Isak this week. How true is that? Kind of true. It's kind of true. You know, no, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with that. I prefer Wissa to Isak this week. I don't know if that's controversial or not, but I do. All right, Bradley. Radders. All right, minutes risk puts him low. City leaks are out. Where are you getting them? What's the source? I'm not seeing it. Where are we seeing the City leaks? How likely is Saka starting? I'll give you like a little cheeky 70%. I'm happy to give you that. No, I'm not getting anything from City. Nope. Nothing yet. There's time. There's time still. How long have we got until deadline? 1 hour and 15 minutes. Oh, man, it's getting closer. It's getting closer by the minute. That is how time works, usually in a linear fashion. Burn. I'm actually going to throw Burn above Livramento. Nah, you know what? I'm not. Livramento's been playing advanced recently. I'm going to drop Burn below Livramento. But I like them both. Oh, leaked FPL. Oh, no. Forget about that account. Forget about that account right now. That is unreliable. Unreliable. Right, what else we got here? Gibbs White. Gibbs White, I think I prefer to Alanga this week. But it's a tough old game. That's going to be a tough old game for Forest attackers. Not super keen. Ruben Dias. Ruben Dias is going to go here. Any news on the Trippier injury? It looks like Trippier is not starting. Kukurea here. In fact, for good measure, I'm going to put Trippier right here. Kivior good. I think for the sake of being sensible, do I really think that? No, I don't. I'm going to put Kivior here. But he is probably a more sensible play than your Newcastle defenders. Right, Mitoma, I don't think is going to start anymore. Hearing some negative things around Mitoma. Right, what else have we got here? Any more bench players? Isak's on that already. Livramento, I believe, to be starting. Miss Snoopy's here. Hi, Danny Legends, and thanks for everything this season. You're welcome, Miss Snoopy, and thank you for always being such a very supportive voice around the FPL Mate channel. It's always appreciated. Thank you. And hopefully, you can finish off the season with a bang. Good luck in Game Week 38 to you. FPL Leaks. I don't know who FPL Leaks is. I don't trust anything it says. He's 2 on the nose for me. But Isak does start. Apparently. Oh, right. Cunha to Evan Nilsson. You could do. Is Salah worth a sell for Saka? I don't think so. A lot of people are look at the captain poll, guys. Salah is top of the captain poll, so it's difficult to say that he's a player to sell, really. Of course, says premature, but thank you for all your hard work this season, Dan. You are most perfectly welcome, my friend. The work isn't quite done yet. We've got another hour and 14 minutes until I can clock off. I say clock off. We'll be back. We'll be back for some videos next week. There'll be some videos next week. And then it will start to quieten down for a little bit. Like the next FPL season, realistically, we're looking like July before the game launches again. It's gonna be some time away. Brawl Star says bench 1 Estupinian share Consa. I bench Estupinian. I'd bench Estupinian. Right, Dina. Dina. Let's throw him in here. Will Cunha start? Maybe 60% yes. 40% no. Minter could be interesting, yeah. But honestly, I think if you want to target Spurs with your Brighton players, I'd be looking at Welbeck primarily. If it has to be a midfielder, Don't really know where to go. Gruder, maybe? Potentially? Florian Wirtz price prediction. Gonna say cheeky little 8.5, 9, something like that, won't it? Maybe 8.5, like the Bruno Erdegaard price range. Wirtz rotation risk though. I don't know, man. We're a little premature, to be honest, to be talking about Wirtz. We're a little premature. He's not even signed yet. I guess Liverpool fans are rightfully excited, though. Which Sunderland players are you bringing into your team? None. Probably none. We'll see. We'll see. Welbeck and Evan Nilsson? No, neither of those are bench players. This is a bench list. This is a bench list. Right, Wan-Bissaka. Don't mind him, to be fair. Wouldn't go super high, but he's in the conversation, I think. Oh, I'm actually going to drop him below Kukurea. Marmouche out to Welbeck / Evan Nilsson still doesn't give me enough for Sarr to Bowen for a bit. Prob's not worth it anyway. Just feels a bit boring. Gameweek 38 to do Sarr to Semenyo. It is a little boring, yeah. What are you going to do, though? I mean, we're all restricted by our own budgets, aren't we? And our own teams and our own structures. Marino. All right. Now we're talking business. I'm going to put Marino here. Murphy. I'm going to put Murphy pretty low. I'm sorry, Murphy fans. I'm going to put him pretty low. Full marks for the spelling, then? What? Have I misspelled something? What would you do if you had the bench boost? I would play the bench boost, yeah. I would be willing to take a hit to get the bench in order. But I would focus on removing players who are serious concerns and less about players who are, you know, maybe not perfect, but fine. Like a lot of people like selling De Bruyne or Rodgers or Sarr or Wood and players like that, or Isak, whatever. If I was on a bench boost, I would not be touching those players with my transfers, and I would instead be focusing my transfers on players who, basically players who are unlikely to play. Like a Savinho or someone like that, if you have him in your squad. Or, you know, if you've got some really worrying defenders, like I don't know, a Robinson and a Trent or someone like that. So that's where I'd be using the transfers, and I'd be willing to take a hit. Eric Camacho says, Salah to Diaz and Cunha to Haaland, desperate punts. Eric, as far as desperate punts go, I quite like it. I quite like it. Where does Welbeck come on the list? Number 1. Welbeck would be number 1 on this list. Any news on Isak and Trippier? I believe Isak is starting, and I believe Trippier is benched. You can do with that information what you need. Who would you triple captain this week, Dan? The triple captain conversation for me is the same as the regular captain discussion. It's the same question. So, who do you want to captain? Do you like the look of Salah? Do you like the look of Bowen? Do you like the look of someone else? I think Salah and Bowen would be a good place to go for captain if you want to go pretty straightforward, straight and narrow. I think I'm going to go on Bowen, to be honest. I think I'm going to go for Bowen. I thought about Luis Diaz, but I think that is maybe too far. I mean, is it too far? Literally, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose at this point? Maybe I just do it, Luis Diaz. Just a Hail Mary at the end of the season. Where would a Stupinian be on the list? We can throw a Stupinian in. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. I guess he would be here. Somewhere in the middle. Happy to report I've done much better in FPL than the Australian football equivalent. Cheers for the season, Dan. Well, You're most perfectly welcome, and I'm glad to hear it. Gavardiol, says Greg. Gavardiol would be high. He would be up here. Ipswich not capitulating at home. Bowen overrated as captain. It's game week 38, though, man. Anything can happen. Ipswich have nothing to lose in this game. They're 19th place right now. A win would probably see them go into 18th. They just got to go for it, see what happens. And they're also, spoken about preparing for next season as well. Real Madrista says, sorry again, but Cunha to Evanilson or Rodgers to Bowen? If you could do Rodgers to Bowen in one, I think I would maybe do that. I mean, they're both good transfers. I think they're both good, solid transfers. So Eza for Martinelli. I don't think I would do that. I quite like Eza this week. Bowen Diaz better picks than Salah, Palmer, Saka. That's debatable. That's debatable. I like them all, other than maybe Palmer. Brendan says, Dan, got a good one for you. Saliba out for White or Share? I'll go for White over Share, I think. Hi, Dan, would you sell KDB or Palmer if you had to sell one? If I had to sell one, I guess Palmer. Start Marmoush or Wood. I've got Marmoush ahead of Wood on the bench list, but I think there's not a huge amount in it. So you can go on vibes and what you're feeling if you want to. Crazy Leg says, hi Dan, won my last mini league because of you. On my way to winning this year, lead by 45 points. Can you put Milenkovic on the bench list, please? Thank you for your content. I'm glad to hear it, Crazy Legs. I've put Milenkovic on the bench list next to Williams there. I don't know if you can see him. Palmer to Saka for a hit. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Carl Mead says, please answer my super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, I did. I'm so sorry, Carl. Wait trade. Beto. Well, what trade? What Beto to Welbeck / Evanilson or Sarr to Saka / Diaz? I mean, if you can do Sarr straight to Saka, if you've got enough money in the bank to do that, then I would do it for sure. I mean, that's a huge upgrade. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Beto is probably a worse pick this week than Sarr. In fact, I'm going to put Beto here. And for good measure, we'll put Vardy at the bottom. I know some people have Vardy. Actually, people know Vardy's not playing, don't they? At this point. So I think if you've got the money in the bank to do Sarr, Saka, or even Diaz, then I would do that. But I like all of those moves. I like all of them. Robinson. Okay. Robinson's going to go low for me. Sell Marmoush for Evanilson. Yeah, you could do. Maybe for free, not for a hit. You got any more team leagues? Let's find out. Not seeing anything immediately. I'm struggling a little bit here. Oh, De Bruyne doesn't start. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a big league. That's a big league. Okay, there we go. We need to find something. No De Bruyne. There you go, guys. Wait, I want to make sure I've read that correctly because I thought I did, but just like triple check this. De Bruyne doesn't start. Okay, that changes things for me. That changes things. Okay, so first of all, we need to drop De Bruyne down in this list. Oh, De Bruyne to Saka is going to be such a popular transfer now. It almost feels too boring, doesn't it? Did I take a hit this week? Dare I take a hit? Let's see if we get any other leaks. Okay, so De Bruyne is now... Well, he has to go down here, doesn't he? He has to go here. De Bruyne to Saka seems so obvious. If we get a Saka leak now, easy. Easiest transfer you'll make. Brentford team leaks. All I have for Brentford is that Mbermo and Wissa are starting. But we kind of knew that, right? Yeah, this has been double confirmed now. No De Bruyne. It's good information. It's good information. Let's throw it in the ticker. De Bruyne, man. He's been such a troll these last 2 weeks. Misses an open goal. And now he's not even starting. Okay, right. De Bruyne is not starting. Does that mean Savinho plays? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It could be one of a number of things. I think it's good for Marmoush's minutes though. But I imagine, you know, there's still some time. I imagine there's still a little bit of time for a bit more information. 1 hour till deadline, guys. 1 hour. Haaland on the bench list? Haaland's not going on the bench list, man. Buy McAtee? I don't know if this is necessarily a moment to buy McAtee, no. Evan Nilsson or Watkins to start? You've got to start both. You've got to start both. Should I bench Enzo and start Isak? Yeah, definitely. No Saka, do KDB to Diaz if he starts. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. However, actually, let me just have a look at my team. Let's see what I can and cannot afford to do. So obviously, I'm going to transfer out De Bruyne now. Transferring out De Bruyne will give me 13.3 in the bank. I can't quite bring back Salah, but I wouldn't want to do that anyway. Saka, it just feels too template. Could I do a double whammy and take a hit and do this? Could I do that for a -4? Then who am I captaining? I guess I would captain Saka if I brought him in. Considering he's more... Who's going to be more differential, Bowen or Saka? Like, as an Arsenal fan, surely it makes sense to just captain an Arsenal player and just try and enjoy the last day of football. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if people will have changed their minds at all on captaincy. Now they're probably more likely to be buying Saka. So should we do a poll? Best De Bruyne replacement? Saka sharing minutes with Nwaneri. Good chance. Good chance. All right, let's end the poll. So we're going to end this poll for now. 4,800 votes, by the way, is crazy. 53% Salah, 25% Bowen, 9% Saka, and 14% other was the final result of that poll. But I'm going to do another captain poll in about half an hour's time because I wonder if people's minds might have changed if they're selling KDB. So let's go best KDB replacement. And we'll put in Saka, Bowen, Luis Diaz, and other. Let's see what you guys are saying for that one. To be fair, like a lot of people might just do De Bruyne to Bowen now, right? And maybe Saka won't be bought by that many people. Don't know. Sinner says, Raya, Conte, Gavardio, Ruben, use my free transfer to get White. I don't think you need to. No, you've got a good defense there already. What about Rice as a differential for Saka? I don't really fancy Rice, to be fair. Like, he scores the odd wonder goal, don't get me wrong. But if we're looking for, like, predictable FPL returns, you're looking at the likes of Saka, really, for Arsenal. I would say. Okay, so far the poll is saying that Bowen is the best KDB replacement. So that's going to be really popular as well. Damn, my differential of Bowen is going down the drain, isn't it? It's been an enjoyable time having Bowen when not many other people have had him, but I think my time has come to an end there. Everyone's going to have Bowen, aren't they? Start Sells or Raya? Definitely Raya. Definitely Raya there. So is Isak out? No, Isak we think is going to start. Dylan says, should I get Evan Nilsson for a -4 for Cunha? No, I don't think so. Not for a -4. Matt here says, oh, it's an Australian dollars super chat. So Matt says, worth taking a hit to get rid of Munoz. And who too? I'm on a bench boost. Well, I don't know if I would take a hit to remove Munoz, to be honest, mate. I think Munoz, as poorly as you might think he might do, you know, if he starts the game, you're looking at maybe a 1-pointer. You're going to need to get a 5-pointer to really improve on Munoz, which means you need a player to guarantee yourself a clean sheet to even really match the score you're getting. And since no player is over 50% clean sheet likeliness, if you're looking logically, taking a -4 to replace Munoz just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to say no hit. No hit on removing Munoz. But if I were to take a hit, I think I'd be looking at maybe Ben White, if you can afford him, or possibly Kirkes as well. Both options for you. Anyway, a nice English super chat now. Start Eze or Wood? I think I would start Eze. I think I would start Eze. Hang on, I need to text my brother. Wait, no. What train am I getting? Ooh, I don't know what train I'm meant to be getting. Hang on, I need to actually. I apologize for this. I need to figure out what train I'm getting after this stream because I'm getting a lift to the train station and I need to communicate this information effectively. Right, what time do I need to leave? I need to leave at what time's deadline? 2:30. Yeah. So I'm leaving realistically at 3 or later. So I need to get the... Oh, crap. Hold on. Come on. Right. What? 3:15 train. Sorry, guys. I do apologize for this. All right. I need to get the 3:15 train. So that means I need to leave my house at 2:55. Cool. Right, there we go. Dan is buying a train. I'm not buying a train. I'm buying a train ticket. I'm not even buying a train ticket. I'm just arranging what train I'm going to get into London. So I don't live in London, thankfully. We need to get in for the games this afternoon. Can we have a list of leagues? Oh, you know what? That's a pretty good idea, isn't it? That's actually a pretty decent idea. All right, let me throw you a bench list on screen for a bit whilst I try and make something. Just do it on Google Sheets. Nah, that's too nerdy, right? You know, screw it. We're doing a Google Sheets. How are we gonna do this? Let's just go. Oh, you know what? This could be good for next season, you know. Right, let's just go like this, make this look good. Say good, good, good. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. White text. My usual font. Cool, right. Okay. I'm happy. I've made something. So right now looks pretty boring. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do. Oh crap, that doesn't look very good. There we go. Isaac. Starts. Oh, that doesn't look good. Like that, and we'll do a little. We'll throw a little emoji in there. Let's fucking go. Oh, I just swore. My bad. Super chats. Oh, we got a good super chat here. We'll come to that. Carlos says, now that De Bruyne is out and Marmoush has a bigger chance to start, would you still sell Marmoush for Evan Nilsson? I don't think you have to sell Marmoush to Evan Nilsson anyway, to be honest. It is entirely optional, so it's really up to you. I wouldn't feel any particular pressure to sell Marmoush, no, if you don't want to. But if you really want Evan Nilsson, then yeah, go for it. But crazy. Sutton Explorer with the £50 super chat. Oh my. Sutton Explorer, you're an absolute legend for that. Everyone just say Sutton Explorer is a legend, or say something nice about Sutton Explorer, because that is crazy. Thank you so much. And he also said, please donate half of this to a charity of your choice. So Sun Explorer, we will absolutely be donating that to a charity. It's most likely going to go to Mind Men's Mental Health Charity. I think that's probably what I'll do with that. But what a legend. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you so much, man. I don't even know how to keep saying this. What a hero, man. What a hero. Not just like supporting the channel, which is amazing, by the way. Thank you so much. But also, you know, charity as well. I love that, man. I have so much respect for that. Really, really genuine stuff. What a legend. Thank you so much, Sutton Explorer. Massive good luck for you in Game Week 38. The most good luck that I could possibly give to you in Game Week 38. Hope you smash it. Hope you achieve all of your targets this season. And really looking forward to going again with you next season. Hero, man. What a hero. Man. The support you guys give is unreal. Actually, do we just... We're not going to know if someone's going to be on the bench or not. For sure, are we? Okay, so these are the important ones so far. What other... do we need to put on there? Sutton Explorer the King. Absolutely. Absolute pleasure, and Mind is a fantastic choice. I'm glad you approve, my friend. I'm so glad, Sutton. I'm so glad, man. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. Right. We do need to get back to business, though. We really do. Which is unfortunate, because I just want to say thank you over and over again. But what other leaks? We have Marmouche and Gavardio starting. So we can do this. Marmouche, Gavardio. And then what else have we got? We've got Onana at Man United. Let's just find the Man United shirt. De Bruyne to Saka, Palmer to Bowen -4. Do you need to do the Bowen, the Palmer move? Just replace De Bruyne with one of Saka and Bowen, I think. I think that's probably what I would do. I don't think Palmer is worth a -4 to Saka or Bowen, really. Unless you're going to captain them. But like you can just do one of them, the one you want to captain anyway. Let's do Trippier as well. We think Trippier is not starting. Let's change it to no start, because we don't know for sure if players are going to be benched or not. And it makes things a little easier with icons as well. So we can also put, let's just add in another row here. No start for Trippier. Oh, do it lowercase. Right. Does this work, by the way? Is this acceptable? I know I've just made this on the fly, but it works, I think. Right, let's keep an eye on those leaks. Nothing else yet. Okay, we'll keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out. Right, let's make another. Let's go. Who is starting? Oh wait, just put team leagues as a title. And we'll make this white and maybe like that. Ooh, and let's add some. Let's not add anything else. That'll do. Oh, but I kind of want to change. I want to make it look cool. This is my problem, guys. I spend too much time on aesthetics. We'll leave that. Right, let's change that and that. Let's just create some kind of divider here. So we can tell very clearly what is what. There we go. That's clear. Is Isaac 100% sure? These are team leaks. Nothing is 100% sure ever when it comes to leaks. There's no such thing as 100%. You can either choose to believe them or not. But all I'm doing is conveying information from what I believe to be reliable sources. and that is just my personal opinion on what is a reliable source. I would act personally on this information. This is information I would act personally on. If it's information I'm not happy with enough to act personally on, I will not share it. But yeah, it's reliable, in my opinion. Righty ho. How are we getting on for time, guys? We've got 41 minutes till deadline. To be fair, the leaks are coming in. The leaks are coming in a little bit here, which is good stuff. Got a couple of super chats here as well. None in Australian dollars, unfortunately, so no accents. Dogs go woof. They do indeed. Says Hudson-Odoi and Cunha to Saka and Evan Nilsson for a -4. Don't mind it, to be fair. Yeah, I quite like that. Let's try and get a Saka leak first, though. Matt says, I need Palmer to Bowen to afford Saka. Got triple captain. Do you want a triple captain Saka? Wait, can't you just do straight Palmer to Saka? Would that not work? Because Palmer's more expensive than Saka, no? If that's an option, then maybe you could just do that. But hey, if you wanna go Palmer to Bowen and get Saka, I think that's fine. Even for a hit. Yaya says, hey Dan, thank you for your content. I have Saka, Bowen, Salah, Rogers, Wisser, and Burmo, Watkins, Mamouche. Who do I start? I'm chasing in the mini league. So I guess you've got to bench one of those players. I guess it's Rogers you bench. And you play everyone else. It looks good, to be fair. Wait, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, you bench Rogers out of those guys. I think, Yaya. And thank you very much for the super chat as well. Phil with an F says, chasing 20 points for top 1k. Wow, congratulations, Phil. KDB to Martinelli and captain as a differential and Mateta to Gakpo -4. Have to bench Rogers. Thoughts? Oh, I'm not sure I love it. I'm not sure I love that. It is differential, but these are not my favourite differentials, I can't lie. Like, for example, I prefer Welbeck. If you want a differential forward, I think the answer is Welbeck. And I think if you want a differential midfielder and you can afford it, I would prefer to go Luis Diaz than Martinelli. And that would also give you your Liverpool attacker that you're looking for. So I think if it's me personally chasing 20 points, I'm doing KDB to Luis Diaz and Mateta to Welbeck. That's what I'm doing personally. I don't get me wrong, I like Martinelli as a budget pick, but if you're selling KDB, you don't have to go budget. You don't have to cut corners there. You can go for someone a little more expensive. Gakpo is not bad, but I think his minutes are somewhat in question. But I have a feeling we might get some Liverpool leaks, to be honest. Hey Dan, is a 39-point gap chase doable, do you reckon? Or is it game over? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to do a differential transfer and a differential captain there as well. And then pray for a miracle. You're looking at like a 1% chance of it happening, but 39 points is possible. Is possible. I think when we start to get to 50 points, yeah, it is impossible. But maybe. We'll have to see. But you got to try. You got to try do something. We really need Arsenal leaks. Hey, I wouldn't be totally against some Arsenal team leaks right now. Let's see. Honestly, I'm just refreshing my phone trying to get some leaks for you guys. Maybe we need to give it a rest, give leaks a rest for a little while. Just a little while. Then we'll go back on it. Right. Right. That's leaks. I'll put bench list back on screen. When did we get the exact leaks? Like an hour ago, maybe? Maybe a bit longer? Can't remember now. I've been streaming for so long. How long have we been streaming for? 2.5 hours? By the way, guys, I probably should mention at some point. Please do like the stream. If you would like to like the stream, that would be massively appreciated. It goes a long way. It does help. And do feel free to subscribe as well. That would also be much appreciated. We gained like 100 subscribers during this stream, to be fair. It's not bad. That's not bad for a day's work. If you can call it a day's work. Probably not quite a day, but hey, we take those. We take those. Right. Finky Saki says, hey Dan, got bench boost this week. Would you do Saliba and Alanga to Martinelli and White? Yes. Yes, I would. If you're on a bench boost. No, Alanga's not a must sell. But I think I maybe would do it. Rogers to Saka -4. If we get the leak on Saka, yes. But I haven't seen anything I'm happy with. Joel Turner says, my wife will leave me if I don't figure out this. KDB to Murphy or Clive at Mate. Cheers. Joel, I'm afraid the reason your wife will leave you if you don't figure this out, because it's like, it's a trick question. That's why. I don't know what your wife has been telling you, but she's tricked you with this question. De Bruyne to Murphy or Clivert? The answer is neither. Yeah. It's like a trick question, like that wives can often set for you, where there is no right answer and you're in trouble either way. So that's why your wife's going to leave you if you don't figure out that question. Neither Murphy nor Clivert should be your your De Bruyne replacement. I'd be looking at Saka, Bowen, Luis Diaz, Martinelli. Who else would be pretty good? Like Burmo, maybe. Even like an Eza, I would prefer. I can't think. Yeah, Barnes, Gordon. There's a lot of players who I would prefer. Like if you're selling like De Bruyne, you got a lot of money to play with there. You don't need to go bin dipping for bargains. You do not need to go looking for bargains at all. You can splash the cash, and why not? It's the final day of the season. Why is my brother text me saying, "Oh my word"? That's a curious one. What's he saying? Voice message. This is brave. Am I gonna play a voice message on stream? It's risky, isn't it? Huh? Wait. Wait, why? It means on your way. Why are you on your way? He's an hour early. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Can you show a free hit team? No. Mate, smile, Gameweek38. I'm always smiling. Have I miscommunicated with my brother on what time I need a lift? We'll leave that for now. We'll leave that one. Who scores more points this week? Bruno or Eza? I would say Eza. Why Eza against Liverpool? That's too risky. Why? Why is it risky? Liverpool are actually on form one of the worst defenses right now because they've won the Premier League. They're done. They are conceding chances because they're playing free attacking football, and Eza is in great form, rested in the midweek. It seems like Eza versus Liverpool is a pretty good shout, actually. I quite like it. Right. £9.99 super chat from Tomo Momo. From Tomo Momo. Tom. From Tom. Thank you so much, Tom. And Tom says, thanks for the work this season, Dan. What do you think of KDB and Mateta to Bowen and Evan Nilsson for a -4? Currently tied for top of mini league and starting Sart. Mateta otherwise leaves 4 million spare. Wow, that does leave you a lot of money spare. What do I think of that? Yeah, I mean, it definitely improves your team. Definitely. So if you're happy to take a hit, that would definitely be an improvement. My concern would be that your mini league rival might also be looking at Evan Nilsson. So can you maybe bet against them by maybe going for a Welbeck instead of Evan Nilsson? That would be something to consider. Or maybe a Luis Diaz instead of Bowen. But honestly, I think I would go for Bowen. So that would be my only suggestion. Maybe consider doing Welbeck instead of Evan Nilsson, just to try and differentiate yourself. Because it's become pretty clear that the most popular transfer this week, or at least so far, has been Evan Nilsson in. Everyone's bringing in Evan Nilsson. So that just matches you with your rival. Can we try and find an edge here? Of course, if you want to match your rival, then that's also fine. And maybe try and gain some points in other positions. Can we get the bench list back up? The bench list is on screen. Or is there some lag or something? What's going on here? My bad. Right. Eunice Braga says, second in my mini league, 30 points behind. Sarr, Saka, Luis Diaz, or Bowen. I mean, if you can afford to go Saka and we get a leak, then I would go there. If not, Bowen. If we get presuming no leaks, Eunice, I would go for Bowen. But if we get a leak on Saka, and you can afford to go straight from Sarr to Saka, it's a big upgrade. It's a big upgrade indeed. I'm thinking about captaining Haaland. I'm not against it. I'm not against it, to be honest. All right, let's try and find some more leaks. Is it time for some more leaks yet? I think we're due some. Nothing. Nada. 29 minutes left to go. 28 minutes left to go until deadline. We are getting a little closer, aren't we? Edging slowly closer. I think we could see a little website crash. I can see a little website crash happening. In fact, I might get my transfers lined up on my phone. Ready to go. Yeah, I'm going to get the transfers lined up on my phone and on my PC. Just to ensure that we are ready to go immediately after we get any. If we get, assuming we get confirmation on Saka, if we get news that Saka is benched, then I'm just going to do I'm just going to do De Bruyne to Luis Diaz and probably nothing else. Weird tweet. Right, hang on, guys. I've got some. I've got some admin to do. Actually, no, I'm not even going to give this attention, actually. Basically, someone has put out a tweet saying that I said that Isak isn't starting. It's obviously a troll. Someone trying to get me. I don't know. But obviously, I didn't say that in the stream. We've literally gone over the team news, haven't we? Oh, well. Right. Anna Rude says, bench Eze, Rogers, Savino. Chances of Savino playing increases. I don't want to say Savino is going to start. I really don't want to say that. I would still rather play Eze and Rogers over Savino. Even if Savino was guaranteed starting, I don't think he'd move up on the bench list. I don't think he'd move up. He'd move up, but he wouldn't move above Eze and Rogers. No way. Wissa to Evan Ilson seems like desperately trying to follow the template. There's nothing wrong with Wissa at all. For captain, Haaland, Bowen, Evan Ilson, and Burmo. I like Bowen the most out of those players, Anna Rude. But in all honesty, they're all decent. They're all decent. Watkins on the bench list. Does Watkins need to go on here? I mean, go pretty high. He'd probably go at the top here, no? Or would he? Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's a little generous. We'll put him here. Low Isak. No, we'll leave him above Isak. We're gonna leave him there. Kaz says, I free transfer had something mini leagues, but 25 points. I'm not sure what that is. Mateta to Evan Ilson, KDB to Saka, Sata Martinelli. Suggestions for 2 of those 3 transfers for a -4. Okay. Well, KDB to Saka looks good if we get a leak. I think Mateta to Evan Ilson seems sensible as well. Those are the 2 I would probably make, and then you can bench Sark, can't you? Ooh. I've been tagged. Yes, I know. So I was still trying to find team news at the same time as trying to answer you guys. So apologies for that. But for those tagging me in Isak starting, yes, I know Isak is starting. I have been trolled. Right. Any news other than KDB? Hang on. Let me throw the team news thing on screen again for you, and we can show you what we've got. Can you add Mateta to the bench list? Yes. Anyone else who... Actually, let's do a couple more players on the bench list before we go. Before we close it for a second. Anyone got any suggestions? Remember, this is players who you are considering benching. This is not players who are like... This is not a transfer list. This is about players you already have in your squad. So, Mateta would go... Not super high, to be honest. Maybe near Murphy. I guess here. Milenkovic is already on there next to Williams in the defenders section. Mitoma, I'm not looking. I'm not feeling too confident in, to be honest. I'm going to put him here. You know, he could do some damage from the bench, but I don't think he's going to start at this point. Welbeck is a must play, and Burmo's a must play. Trossard, I'm guessing it's because people are thinking about transferring him in, but I don't think Trossard's going to start. He could do, but I don't think it's super likely. Raya or Pope? I've answered this question so many times. From you as well, Newcastle. From the answer is Raya. I've answered you asking that. Like, that's the third time I've answered that. I'm breaking, aren't I, guys? We're getting so close to the deadline. Sessignon, Virgil. Oh, we've got some rogue players now. That is rogue. KDB is benched, yes. Will Havertz start? I'm not confident about Havertz either. Like, there are so many players who I'm like on the fence whether they're going to start or not, and they can't all start. Trossard, Havertz, Marino, Saka, Nwaneri, Martinelli. Do we say Trossard? I don't know. You know, we've got all of these names. Who's playing? Who isn't? They can't all play. Erdegaard as well in that conversation, maybe. Jorginho, Rice, Partey. Who's going to play in midfield? It's chaos. It's chaos. Right. What else? Welbeck. Well, people really thinking about benching Welbeck. That is madness. I'll put him on, but no. In fact, no. I've got to stay true to my principles, and that is to not put players on the bench list unless people are considering benching them, because they just want to see their player on this list. They've just bought Welbeck. They're ready to start him, but they want me to validate that Welbeck's better than a lot of these other players. Obviously, he is. He is. You don't need my validation, guys. I swear. Welbeck is a good pick. Right. Let's. A lot of people are asking and talking about team leaks, so let's put up back on screen what we have so far. That's not it. That is. Isak to Evanilson, Rogers to Semenyo, or Gvardiol to White. None. None of them. I don't like any of those transfers, Sid Vicious. Yeah, I wouldn't do any of those. Sorry, mate. Mitoma, I think, is going to get benched, but I don't have any leaks on that, obviously, but I have a strong suspicion he's going to be benched. Kieran with a super chat says, I'm 9 points ahead with bench boost active and KDB. Help. Got to sell KDB. I'd use one of the suggestions in the poll. Saka and Bowen are actually pretty tight for the best KDB replacement, according to the chat. Luis Diaz 11%, other 9%. So we are looking at Saka or Bowen, really, as your De Bruyne replacement. Should we do... Oh, we need a Saka leak. I need a Saka leak, man. I need this. We all need this. Come on. Okay. Or you know what? I'll take any kind of leak at this point. I just want to add something. All I've got on Twitter right now is FPL tweeting a picture of Isak wearing sunglasses. That's yeah. All right, fine. Get the sunglasses emoji next to Isak's name. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Who do you think will do better this week? Erdegaard, Martinelli, or Bowen? I like Bowen. the most from those players. Matt says sell Elanga or Rodgers. I think I would sell Elanga. Oh, wait, sorry, that was Australian dollars. Sell Elanga or Rodgers. I think, mate, I would sell Elanga. I do like Elanga, don't get me wrong, but a game against Chelsea, quite a defensive team. Elanga will usually typically a player playing on the counter-attack. I don't really know if I fancy him for this one. But Rodgers, on the other hand, against this Manchester United team with not much to play for, I think it's a pretty straightforward decision there to sell Elanga and keep Rodgers. There we go. Best Arsenal midfielder after Saka. I want to say Martinelli. If I send you in rupees, will you do an Indian accent? I don't know if I can. I don't know if that's allowed. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to do the Indian accent, but Australian one, I'll do all day and all night if I need to. It is probably one of my favourite accents to listen to in the world, and I would love to do it. Only one way to find out. You can put as many super chats in the chat as possible, but I'll tell you what, I've just got the super chat in South African. What is it? What's the South African currency called again? Rand? South African Rand. We just got a 99.99 South African Rand. So thank you very much for that. And for that, I will give you a little bit of a Afrikaans accent for you. Anyway. DT. What SGD? I don't know what SGD. I don't even know what currency that is. But 2 SGDs. Why not Rice instead of Saka to replace KDB? I mean, Saka is a much better a much better attacking football player than Rice is. So it seems sensible to go for Saka. Like, don't get me wrong, Rice occasionally bangs in a goal, but like, you know, you're always going to bet on Saka to outscore Rice in any given game week. Obviously, football doesn't always work out that way, but I think I'm not even thinking about Rice. Is Rice an option as budget? I mean, if you really are struggling for budget, I would rather have Martinelli. I'd rather pick an attacker. Sid Vicious says, my starting are Raya, Gavardio, Livramento, Consa, Roger, Salah, Burmo, Bowen, Wissa, Isaac, Watkins. I feel I need to do a transfer. What would you do for protecting? You... Kind of the only player you're missing for protecting is Saka. I mean... Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, really. Or maybe an Evan Ilson. Yeah, probably Evan Ilson, to be fair. So do you just do Wissa or Isaac or Watkins to Evan Ilson just to protect? Maybe. Who's going to be the lowest owned of those 3 players? Probably... I don't know. Wissa? They're about the same. That is such a template team. Yeah, it's just such a template team. It's so hard to really figure out how to make it safer when it's already so safe. Like, Rodgers is probably the weakest player in your starting 11. So maybe he could be replaced. But even that's luxury. If you're protecting. I mean, Semenyo, maybe? That's the best I can come up with, man. Honestly, the team is so template, and you're asking me to make it safer. Like, it's such a safe team already. But of course, you're going to use your transfer, right? Right, Eric says, is Diaz starting? I see a lot of predicting lineups saying he's on the bench. Have you heard anything? Every predicted lineup I've seen has him starting. So it would be very surprising. Oh, Luis Diaz starts. Okay. That's a great timing. That's great timing. So we've just got I've just got a leak that I am happy with saying Luis Diaz starts. So this is great. So that's really helped you out, Eric. There you go. That's answered very properly there. Mingyu says get Saka / Welbeck, punt Havertz. Thanks as always, Dan. I like Saka. I like Welbeck. I don't think I'd go for the Havertz punt. I think Welbeck is a decent punt in himself. Right, so what else we got here? Libax with the Australian, another Australian dollars. Let's go. We get to do the accent again. And Libax says, should I bench Cunha for Murphy? I think I'd rather play Cunha than Murphy. Murphy playing as a bit of a right wing-back kind of player recently. It looks like it's going to be a back three again for Newcastle, which means Murphy going to be playing a slightly more reserved kind of role there. Cunha, on the other hand, with Strand Larson not looking great for minutes this week, has a good chance of starting and indeed going to be on penalties as well. Nice little fixture for him. Final day of the season. I think I'd start Cunha over Murphy. And then Ben says, why are we getting rid of KDB? Because he's not starting. Diaz or Evanilson? Like them both. Evanilson's safe. Diaz, risky. Right, super chats are ramping up now. Let's try and whiz through these. I really appreciate all the super chats, by the way, guys, but we're going to have to rush through them because there's a lot coming in. Sultan says, Captain Morgan Gibbs White. That is... I can't lie, Sultan. I don't like that. I don't like that move at all. I would not recommend it. Justin Lee says, thanks all year from Hong Kong. Last year, 618 overall. Now rank 2,245. 18 points off 1K. Amazing stuff, man. Congratulations. Will you choose Haaland, Watkins captain, Ben White, or Salah captain? Welbeck, Konsa. Sorry, it's Haaland, Watkins captain, and Ben White, or Salah captain, Welbeck, and Konsa. I see what you're saying. I would go Salah, Welbeck, and Konsa. Salah captain, Welbeck, and Konsa, I would say. I think it's the Watkins captain I don't really like there. I think as a trio... No, I like Salah, Welbeck, Konsa. Let's be real. Here for FPL says, final thing. Rodgers to Diaz for a -4. 10 minutes to go. Screw it. Do it. I like it. Get her done. Martinius says, start Konsa or Rodgers? Start Rodgers. Start Rodgers. All right, any leaks? I need the Saka leak, man. I need it. Please. Come on. I'm not getting this leak, am I? Never getting this. Trippier's on the bench by the looks of things, by the way. I don't know if that's interesting to anyone. Rishav says, hey Dan, do I triple captain Saka or Salah? Salah right now because we haven't got a Saka league. Right, you know what I can do? We can do one transfer. We can do one transfer right now. That's what I'm going to do. So let's reset. I'm just going to do De Bruyne to Luis Diaz. For now. And then we can revisit Rodgers to Saka if we get a leak. Because I don't want to get caught here snoozing with a little website crash. Are you sure Isak starts? I'm reasonably sure, yeah. All I'm going by is trustworthy team leaks, but yes. De Bruyne to Luis Diaz. I'm confirming it. Get her done. Lock her in. And I'm going to put the captain's armband on Luis Diaz. For now. Vice Captain Bowen. And then let's see where we go from here. Let's see what happens next. I don't know what's going to happen. It is a mystery. We will keep on searching. Any Trent news? I don't think so, my friend. I don't think so. Eunice says, now we've got Luis Diaz league before Saka. Should I do Sarr to Diaz and Murphy to Bowen, or Sarr to Bowen and Vardy to Welbeck? Ooh, I kind of like Sarr and Murphy to Diaz and Bowen. If you can bench Vardy, I kind of like that. Yeah. Two midfielders. It looks good. I like that, Eunice. I like that. 408k, a good first FPL season. That's decent, Tony. It is decent stuff. I think in the top 1 million for a first season is good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's see how we fare in your second season. Hopefully you'll be able to improve on that and get better and better with each year. DT says Saka for KDB -4. Thanks for the season from Singapore. Good luck. I really hope Saka starts, DT. I really hope so. I want the leak, really, but I like it. I like it, man. And thank you very much. Please, can you show your bench list? Get your bench list out for the lads. Get your bench list out for the lads. There you go. Sid Vicious, I can't get Saka without a -4, so Rogers to Semenyo. I guess so. I guess so. It's either Rogers to Semenyo or one of your forwards. I don't know which of the three, because they're all good, to Evan Ilson. And I really, really don't know which one. That's all I can come up with. That's all I can come up with. Right, let's do a last-minute captain poll, guys. Because a lot of people are asking about captain. Who is your Game Week 38 captain? Because we've got 5 minutes till we've got to lock it in. Salah, Bowen, Saka, or other? Got super chat here from Blizzard as well. KDB and Wood out for Saka and Evan Ilson. Want to take a -4. I don't hate it, Blizzard. I really don't hate it. Okay, we got Bruno starting. That's another team leak. We need to get leaks back on team, guys. This is like more important than anything else. Okay. Wait, we'll put B Fernandez. Okay, so Bruno starts. If that was ever in doubt, I don't know, maybe. No more bench list. That's bench list done for the season now. In fact, let's say a proper goodbye for the season to the bench list. Goodbye, bench list. You have served us very well throughout the season. Thank you for your service to all FPL kind. And we will see you, bench list, next season. Believe me. Bench list will be back for the new season. Where's Semenyo on the bench list? Pretty high. Thank you, bench list. Goodbye, and we'll see you next season. You will be missed dearly. But we need to focus on the team leaks right now. Guys, you need to be locking in some transfers right about now. But where is the Saka leak? Please. Please, please give me a Saka leak. I'm actually stressing, man. Oh, the website's going to crash, man. I know it is. We're too close to deadline to even really do anything about this. Will I just send it? I mean, obviously, I can't captain Saka now with no leak. Make your transfer, send it. I'm doing it on my phone. There's no way I'm risking. It's always worse on the website. Not getting this leak, are we? Oh, I'm not gonna send it yet. I'm getting ready to send it though. Oh man, like we're 1 minute till deadline. We're not getting this leak, are we? We're not getting it. Do we need to just accept it? Oh, I don't know if I can do it. Do it? Saying do it? What have I got to lose? Really looking for that leak. It's not happening. Okay, I'm going to give it until it's like 1 minute till deadline. I'm going to keep refreshing. If there's nothing... then I'm just doing it. I'm in trouble here. I'm in trouble. I'm doing it. I'm not captaining him, but I've done it. I've just done it. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so excited. Saka's in. Saka's in my squad. Right, hang on. Can I refresh this page just so you can see my final team? No, unavailable. Okay, I got it in before the website crashed. But oh yeah, okay. Right. There you go. Final team. We're going Luis Diaz captain. Oh my word. Few seconds, guys, until the deadline officially passes. And yes, that is for a -4. We did Rodgers out. Oh my. Deadline! Deadline has passed. That's it, guys. That's the end of the season. We're at the end of the season. No more FPL. No more stressing about my team. No more crying in my bed because I've had another bad game week. We're done. We're locked. Wow. What a day. I can barely believe it. Wow, guys. Wow. Oh, speechless. Speechless. What a year. What a season. We're done. Super chat from here for FPL says, thank you for this season, mate. Best out there. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. We're done. I can chill. I can chill. I know that anything that I say and do no longer has any impact on anything. It's amazing. It's a feeling. How are you guys feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous? I'm surprisingly relaxed. I've got a train to catch in about 25 minutes. Well, actually, I don't have to catch the train until 3:15, but I'm leaving in about 25 minutes. Going to London, enjoying the football for the final day. Wow. Guys, I am going to go. I'm not going to stay until the lineups. However, I will see you guys over on Twitter, maybe Instagram, if you guys are over there. We will be back for some videos next week, but less, obviously. We're going to do a season review. We're going to do a season review, and kind of just talk about our learnings, which there was a lot of this season. And that will probably be I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe. There'll be one more podcast as well on the Stick to FPL. And there will be videos throughout the summer. So we're going to try and do some collabs as well. We're going to try and put some fun videos out just to keep us going throughout the summer. I mean, to keep me sane. I love making videos. So, it's going to be great fun. So, guys, all I will say for those of you who are still here, thank you so much for another amazing season of FPL Mate. You know, got a lot of messages for you guys saying thanks to me, but honestly, I should be saying thanks to you because you guys allow me to do this as a job now for 4 years. Maybe 3 or 4 years. It's been amazing and an absolute privilege to share these spaces with you guys, and yeah, for you guys, the continued support, even when I've had a bad season, the continued support and positivity that comes from you guys. You keep me going, you keep me positive, you keep me upbeat, and I'm so grateful to you guys for allowing me to do something that I absolutely love as a job. It is so awesome. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, once again, I love you guys. Genuinely, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. And I really hope to see a lot of you again next season as well. And indeed over the summer. You know, come hang out with me over the summer as well. So listen, you guys are awesome. Wishing you all the best of luck going into Gameweek 38. I hope every single one of you achieves everything that you hope for in terms of your mini leagues, your rank, whatever. You guys have got this. I believe in you. And I will see you over the summer a little bit. If not, I will see you next season. 2025-26 comeback season is on. A couple of super chats here. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ericu. You guys are legends. I will see you later, mates. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome. Good luck and goodbye. Bye.